Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Holes in Your Drywall. I'm
Yo,
Aaron.
yo, and I'm your boy Reid. Aaron, I got good news for you.
What's the good news?
We got another guest, and I gotta tell you, I don't know how I landed this guy.
Okay, well now I'm excited and I don't deal with disappointment so
This week on the podcast, we are having a fellow podcast host who has his own podcast, JJ Reddick.
okay,
Yep, you excited?
go ahead, show me him or JJ
But
if you're here to talk.
he does have the coronavirus, so he will not be verbally joining us. He will just be listening as we record this.
Okay, roll the intro music.
Holes in your drywall. Get higher, Aaron. Hey, Aaron,
Oh, what's up?
spell out attic for the listeners.
Addict.
Attic.
ADDICT. Addict.
No, not an addict, an attic. Like
Um,
where your parents tried making you live in your
can you
house.
use it in a sentence? Okay, well,
Your parents didn't want you in the kitchen, so they tried making you live in the attic.
can you use it in a dirty sentence?
Uh, your parents didn't want you living in the kitchen, so they made you move into your dusty, old, dirty attic.
ATTIC.
Ah!
Wow.
You get it? ATTIC.
Well, here's the thing. You're supposed to Reid, can you look down your shirt
Oh,
and
so
spell
good.
addict?
Oh,
That's the joke.
another
Come
layer
on.
to it. Because then you actually see one.
I can't believe you fell for it, dude.
That was good.
So,
Uh-huh.
so, so bad.
Wow, that was hilarious. I'm
What a great
laughing
start
so
to the
hard.
pot. What a great, yeah.
Remember last week when you said I'm hard to make laugh?
Yeah.
So I don't actually think that's true. Do you? Or was that just kind of the thing you were
I think
saying?
it's true. Or you're just so used to my humor, my dry humor, that it's just not funny to you anymore.
That's just I think you're one of the funniest guys I know. So maybe I just don't laugh as much as I think I do, which I think I laugh a lot. Laughing is my favorite thing. I love
You could
smiling.
be,
Smiling's my
I think you
favorite.
just laugh in your head and then you just kind of look at hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's just like a
like I'll
simple,
think something's funny, but I don't always laugh at it.
well,
You know what I mean?
I need the satisfaction of seeing you laugh and or hearing you laugh, not just like you thinking in your head.
You know, you're not the first person to tell me that. My girlfriend, whom I've been dating for the past 15 years,
Subtle flex.
has been very annoyed with me during quarantine because I don't laugh out loud at her jokes,
You don't
and
LOL?
she no,
Do
I
you
and
ROFL?
no, I'm more LQTMS, which for the drywallers that don't know what that is, that means laughing quietly to myself. And so during quarantine, Natalie has nipped at me a little bit because I don't. She says I need to give her a pity laugh, or other people pity laughs. There's been a couple of circumstances where she felt uncomfortable because I wasn't pretending to laugh. What do you think about that?
Yo, 100%. You put that in the notes. I thought she said that about you laughing at me. So I felt really good. But now, but now learning that it's also her problem, I can relate and I don't feel as bad. But yeah, you get a good fake laugh. That's the thing. And
I would
me,
rather be genuine, which is exactly what I told Natalie.
well, see, I find everything genuine. I believe it sounded out. But
Not getting a pity laugh for that one. See,
yeah,
you got to be better than that.
but I should have gotten a laugh. But I don't know. You got to get a good fake laugh or just laugh at everything because everything's funny. That's what I do.
See, and I really appreciate people like that because I'm always cracking jokes and always trying to be the funny guy. So I love people that laugh at
Funny
everything.
guy.
Ah,
Ah.
but I just mentally in my head, I'm like, I think it just takes a lot to crack me, to get me to crack.
Hey, did you ever play the trampoline game? Like crack the egg?
Crack the see. I was the strongest egg. I couldn't be cracked.
Really?
Speaking of crack the egg, I played a sick prank today. You want to know what it is?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
So Trevor, my roommate, was laying out on the trampoline, possibly sunbathing because he had his shirt off, and I never see him with his shirt off. So I was kind of like, "What's going on?"
Oh, mm.
And I knew he was out there because he sent me a Snapchat of my dog, who was also on the trampoline with him. And so
My dog.
my two dogs was on it. So I walked out onto the roof, which is directly above the trampoline, and I thought he would have heard me open the door, so I was just gonna conversate with him. But he didn't hear me open the door, so I saw him laying there so innocently. What do you think I did?
Politely went up to him. Yo, Trav, what's good?
What's the sickest prank you could think of?
Pouring
Like
water on
maybe
him.
pour. I should have done
Sickest,
that.
actually, no.
That
Sickest would probably be coughing on him.
Or drop an egg on him or something.
Yeah.
See, now that we're talking about it, I'm having so many more good ideas of what I could have done. But what I decided to do was jump down on the trampoline off the roof and scare him by landing next to him. And I think it went pretty well.
Did you watch out, watch out, watch out, and just like land
Watch
on
out,
him
watch
and
out.
just grab his head and just into? Or,
No, because he was laying down.
or was
so
it
I
more
would
like a
have had to just
Spider-Man kiss where you just like kind of came down and then, hey, Trav, anything like that?
But how would I have slowed myself down? That would have just been like a torpedo missile hitting him.
I didn't get that far, but that's just what goes
Next
through my
time
head.
I will work on Spider-Man kissing him.
Yeah, and make
Because
sure to take videos so we can put it in the YouTube video.
oh my goodness,
No?
that no,
Okay.
maybe
next
I
time.
love pranks though. Here's another prank that I pulled.
Okay,
Speaking of pranks,
feeling super pranky this week.
I'm feeling yep, a little saucy. So this actually wasn't this week, but I appreciate hyping me up. So I love snakes. How do you feel about snakes?
I love snakes.
No, you don't. Be
Yeah, well,
honest.
here's the thing. I really like them, but I don't like handling them and stuff. So they freak me out a little bit, but I'm really intrigued by them.
If I had a pet snake and asked you to hold it, would you be able to?
Yes.
I don't
What kind of
believe you.
what kind of snake? Venomous? No.
Underwear?
No.
If I had a gardener snake, totally unmean, would you? I don't think you would hold it. So I caught a snake and I put it in an Nalgene bottle.
Yeah, brand specific.
Yeah, sponsor us, Nalgene. This ad is now brought to you by Nalgene. And I put it in there, but I left the cap undone.
No cap?
Yeah, I left the cap unscrewed so the snake could breathe.
Okay.
I didn't want to cut off all its oxygen.
Yeah, you're not a murderer.
No. And I caught it while I was playing disc golf. And at the end of playing disc golf, Parker was like, hey, I want to get a tattoo. And so I was like, yeah, let's go get you a tattoo. And so we were driving around with the snake in my car, trying to find a place for him to get a spontaneous tattoo.
Like in the bottle still.
The snake's in the bottle in my car, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so we go to the nearest tattoo shop. They say, we're scheduled up for 3 weeks. Get lost, kids. Very rude.
Fair.
My overall experience with tattoo artists in this was that they're not that nice.
Okay. So they're trying to help you make non-spontaneous decisions.
Well, Parker, not me. So
yeah,
we continue to drive around, and we go to 2 more. They both say, get lost, kids. And so we start thinking about this a little bit more, and we start calling tattoo parlors. Boom, we found one, $60 minimum. Let's go get Parker some ink.
Okay,
so we get to the
bottle.
tattoo shop.
I just want to get this straight because
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, driving around all day with this snake in my car. And then we get there, we go in, Spend like 45 minutes in there getting Parker a spontaneous tattoo. It's a Bible verse on his thigh. It's pretty sick. Come back to my car. Guess what's not in the bottle anymore?
The snake.
The snake. It's not in the water bottle. So
And did
I,
you ever find that snake?
well, I looked for it for a while in my car, got under all the seats, got in the trunk, did everything for it. 2 days later, I'm driving around knowing that the snake is still in my car. I'm just driving around. My girlfriend is in the front seat, who is absolutely terrified of snakes, can't even look at pictures of them. And I said, "Oh, there's the snake," because I had told her about it, but I had lied and said that the snake had already gotten out.
Oh.
And I pointed at her feet and I said, "There's the snake." She screams at me, punches me in the face. I wreck the car. Nah, I'm just kidding. But she screams at me and was
Punches
very
you in the
upset.
face.
And so that night I decided, all right, I need to do something to get this snake out of this car because I know it's in there. And I'm not afraid of snakes, but I would prefer to not have one in my car while I'm driving.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So long story short, I leave all the doors of my car open and park it in the garage. And after like 4 hours of that, I come out and I see the snake slither outside of the garage.
Was it a big snake or what? Like, what are we talking right now? Because
Well, the story is,
Nalgene's a pretty big bottle.
yeah, it wasn't very big. No,
Okay.
For the sake of this story, I wish I could say it was bigger.
You know what would have helped you probably too?
What?
I know your car, and I know that you pack everything that you may need for like a 7-day vacation in it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would
I'm
help.
always ready to party.
Yep. No. Always ready for a spontaneous trip to Colorado. You know,
It's true.
like on a birthday night, whatever, something like
Oh,
that.
do you want me to tell that story?
I mean, you can if you want to. I'm
Okay,
not
so
in it, but yeah, it's
here,
a great story.
here's why you should always leave stuff in your car, like jackets and hammocks and sleeping bags and other fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this last December of 2019, I was going to our friend Cecilia's birthday party in Manhattan.
It definitely wasn't 2019.
Yeah, it was. No, it was it was in January.
Yeah.
So it was January 2019.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So we're in Manhattan with my friend Noah and Blake, and you know what we thought? Well, we're 2 hours closer to I-70, which is the highway that goes straight west over to Denver. So we might as well go to Denver. And we're like debating about this all night, kind of getting anxious about it. And we're like, well, whatever, we'll just go to this party, see how the night plays out. And so we get there and Noah starts slamming brewskis. And I'm like, oh no, I know exactly where his headspace is going to be. And
Girls.
of course, well, yes, but also we should go to Colorado is what I was going to say.
Oh, okay. Yep, that makes
And
sense.
so he did both of those things.
Mm.
And so he convinces us I think I was the one that originally thought of the idea. I was like, hey, let's go snowboard. We can snowboard for a day and then come back. But it wouldn't have happened without Noah's persuasion. And Blake actually wasn't even going to go to Manhattan. We picked him up on our way out. We had to turn around and we wasted 20 minutes coming back to get him. And we just picked him up from while he was at lunch with some friends. So Blake goes from having lunch with friends to Manhattan to Colorado pretty quick. So we leave Manhattan at 1 a.m, drive through the night. We get to Denver at like 6 a.m, and we know we need to buy some jackets and stuff. So our plan is to go to Goodwill, but Goodwill doesn't open for like 3 or 4 more hours. So we eat some McDonald's and then take a nap in the car. Yep. And also we knew we needed to go to Goodwill in Denver because there's more options for thrift stores. Once you get out in the mountains, there's maybe one thrift store and you're kind of screwed if they don't have anything. So we go to the thrift store in Denver, find what we need. For Blake, what he needed was a wetsuit. You know what a wetsuit is? Like for surfing?
Yeah.
Which, if you think
Yeah.
about it, actually makes a lot of sense for snowboarding. Keeps the wind off of you, keeps you dry.
Sure. I've never gone snowboarding or skiing, but yes, I will
Really?
agree. Yeah.
That's
I've never shred the gnar.
that is a bummer. And then Noah finds overalls. So I'm with a surfer and a farmer, and I packed appropriately to go to Manhattan. Along with the stuff in my car, I had enough warm stuff that I didn't need to buy anything really, other than a headscarf. So after going to Goodwill, we get an afternoon to night pass at Keystone, and we ski all night. And then after we get done skiing at like 8 or something, we're like, crap, what do we do now? So I'm reaching out to people, trying to find anyone to stay with in Colorado. I know this one dude. I kid you not, he's saved in my phone. His contact name is Guy That Stayed With Me from Colorado. Because last Thanksgiving, he was driving to Oklahoma from Colorado, and he reached out to the Young Life area director of Wichita and said, hey, I need a place to stay. And he connected him with me. So this guy stayed with me for a night. So I'm like, great. This guy
Oh,
owes
pay
me
back the
one.
favor. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know his name. Took me 30 minutes to find his contact in my phone because I couldn't remember what I saved it as. And I find him, I call him, and he says, yeah, of course, you can stay with us. But he's from Fort Collins, which is like
Not close.
not very close. So it's north of Denver, totally out of the way. So we're thinking about it, and we just start driving back. And then when we get to Denver, we're going to decide if we want to go north or keep going. We decided to keep going and find a motel room, which was the second most expensive part of this trip. The first, maybe the third. It was the lift tickets were expensive, and then gas was expensive. And I mistakenly told Noah and Blake that my parents would pay for the gas, and they didn't. I ended up paying for it. Those
Bold
boneheads
move.
still haven't
Yeah.
paid me back. Yeah.
Well, probably not gonna. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Yeah.
Blake still owes me money from Super Bowl when I bought him McDonald's.
Uh-huh.
And I just haven't brought it up to him because I'm like, it's whatever. But maybe now on a podcast, me calling him out, maybe that is what
Yeah.
he needs. It was like
Yeah.
$10.
I think Blake owes everyone that has ever listened to this podcast money.
Yeah, so you should probably ask him for it. Maybe he will, maybe he won't.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, do you want to inform everyone what we did for the Super Bowl? Because it was pretty righteous.
The KC Chiefs won, or what?
Well, yeah, but what were we doing?
Well, we were in the KC area, and we went to Power and Light. Power and Light District. I haven't gone in so long, I forgot what it was. And we got into, what was it, the No Other Pub, and it was popping. I don't know how many. I can't even estimate how many people were there because it was just outrageous.
What time did you get there? Like noon?
See, me and Taylor, another friend, we got there, noon, because we got there and ate Chipotle outside and then got in. And then we were in No Other Pub from maybe like 1 p.m. to like, I don't know, 10:30, 11 p.m. standing all day.
Yeah, all day.
All day.
Only the rich people had seats.
It was nothing, standing all day. Nothing. My feet
it was not
help.
Nothing.
Yeah, my feet hurt after, but was it worth it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
It was even better going to work the next day at 8 a.m. Let me tell you.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
So I got there at like 2:00, and this was probably the most packed place I've ever seen. Like, especially for how big of a place it is. It was like, imagine if the coronavirus existed then, it would have killed an entire city.
Honestly, that's probably where it started. There were so many people in such a tight, it was like packed in like
Power and
sardines.
Light and Kansas City is where the coronavirus started. Hot take.
And KC. That's what I'm gonna say.
It literally, the women's bathroom and no other pub was an hour-long wait
Oh, you were waiting?
entire day. Yeah, I waited standing next to my girlfriend like the gentleman I am. And I got so tired of she went to the bathroom twice that day. That's 2 hours out of my day that I spent waiting in line just for her to go. That's not even for when I had to go. There was one
Yeah,
time I went
I
to
was
the
just
guy's
queuing in
bathroom.
bottles.
That did you really?
No.
Oh, I mean, it would be worth it
I
because
was
it
I
was
was trying not to drink as much, just like water and stuff, so I wouldn't
just
have to use the
alcohol.
bathroom. No, I was not drinking that day because I had to work the next day.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
Mom, if you're listening, I didn't
he
drink.
was totally sober,
I was
but
totally tober.
the bat, the bathroom line was so problematic that I was waiting in line for the men's room, and there was a girl standing in line right behind me who entered the bathroom at the same time as her boyfriend. And I got to tell you, it was strange. It was uncomfortable that she just went into the men's room and used the bathroom like it was nothing.
Oh, yeah, I was really confused by that story, but did she use a urinal?
uh, I will
Was like
leave that up to
one of
your
those
imagination.
stepbrothers moments.
Honestly, that no, that is not what happened.
Oh, okay, good. Um, so that's yeah, those are some stories. NBA. Okay. All right. We're just
Yeah, while we're talking about the NFL and the Super Bowl, let's talk about the NBA. Did you see Bleacher Report is they're doing their own awards for Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and MVP?
so like, are they gonna do their own separately from? They're just separate from the NBA. Just like, hey, this is what we want, or
Yeah, because who knows if the NBA is actually gonna do it?
oh, that's true.
So I figured we should do a holes in your drywall
Holes
hire Aaron
in your
edition.
drywall.
Yep. Okay, so let's start off Defensive Player of the Year. Who do you think it should be?
Um, wow, dude, it's been so long since I've watched basketball. I can't even remember.
Uh,
Uh,
Giannis was having a great defensive season. Anthony Davis was. I'll go first. My vote
okay.
is Rudy Gobert, and here's why. So obviously the shot blocking and all of that is great, but really he should be the Defensive Player of the Year because he literally shut down the NBA by getting everyone sick with the coronavirus.
Yeah,
And
we're
I
the
saw
worst.
okay, so
That
I saw a tweet, and it was
yeah, I've seen this
someone
tweet.
was jokingly reported that he was going around kissing his teammates on the mouth, and that's why Donovan Mitchell was refusing to talk to him. He actually got everyone sick by jokingly coughing on everyone's stuff and like rubbing his hands on their faces.
Yeah,
I don't know what's worse, that or kissing them on the mouth. But can you imagine if he just
not a good PR move. I'll be honest, by anyone in that.
mm-hmm. Good
Um,
journalistic integrity by reporting that he was kissing people in the mouth?
ooh, yeah, yeah. I wish I had videos, but rookie of the year, I'm gonna go ahead and say Zion Williamson.
No way.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. It's gotta be Ja, TBH to me. Um, then upcoming like the next one, it's probably a tie between Kendrick Nunn and Thibault.
Valid argument, actually. If Zion had a chance, I think, if the NBA season wouldn't have been cut short. But since he played so little due to injury and stuff, I think there's just no way you can't give it to Ja.
Yeah, I mean he sat out for 4 months, I think. Like
A long time for not actually being injured at all.
yeah, and it's just kind of crazy how people are like, yeah, he should be rookie of the year. It's like, should he? Should he though? Should he?
Yeah, I mean, averaged like 22 points a game. Ja averaged like
Yeah, but
17,
like
18.
if you look at where the Pelicans were before he joined, they were like already climbing back up in the West. And then if you go to the Grizzlies, um, who have they got other than Ja? Like that would actually help the team. Well, I just feel like Ja is more valuable to his team because he took the Grizzlies, who were not a playoff contender at all, and
Hmm.
they're in the race for the playoffs. They're in the playoffs, I think, right now. They're like 7th seed or 8th seed. I don't know. I haven't looked at sports since this freaking COVID thing. But
Yeah.
if you look at the Pelicans have already been like on the rise, trying to get in the playoffs, and then Zion's just been helping them.
Yeah, but they so they started off horrible. They started off 1-7 and then had a 13 game losing streak. And so they were on the rise before Zion came back, but it was like they only started being back on the rise like around Christmas time. So they weren't on the rise that long before Zion came back.
Yeah, but that's like a month before Zion came back. That's still a
Yeah,
lot of, I don't know.
but I still think they made a significant jump with Zion. But overall, I agree with your point that Ja is more beneficial to his team.
Yeah, MVP. I don't even know. I want to say Giannis again, but I don't know. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you say?
Yeah, that's tough.
Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler is the MVP of my heart.
Yeah,
I'll
the
tell you that
MVP
right
of the
now.
people.
MVP of holes in your drywall, Jimmy Butler.
Holes in your drywall. Jimmy Butler, if you're ever listening to this, somehow,
He knows how to put holes in drywall.
yeah, him and TJ Warren duking it out should have happened again. But yeah, um, I just
But
want
back to
sports.
MVP.
I want sports.
Yeah, I want sports too. I think LeBron, if he wasn't so old and taking games off, he would have uh, been the front runner. But I think I think right now you got to
Like
give it to
I just gotta
Giannis.
pull this up to see freaking stats. You're not even gonna think about Harden or anything like that. Like Harden's leading the game in
Uh,
points by 4.
yeah, I'm kind of a James Harden hater.
Same.
I know he's mastered the game and one of the hardest people to guard in the league right now, but just so awful to watch him
I
going to
just
the free
yeah,
throw line 30 times a game.
it's literally the worst. I wish I was 7 foot and could just dunk all game. But yeah, dude. Speaking of NBA, did you know Shaq has a TV show now?
Shaq life.
Like I put it on here, not knowing if you would know or not, but
No, of course I knew. I signed up for
okay.
his texting service that they use to promote the TV show. So I'm getting texts from him all hours through the night.
You
For
love
those that don't know, Shaquille O'Neal is my spirit animal. He is my source of power. I have a Shaq sticker on my laptop. I have a Shaquille O'Neal T-shirt. Unfortunately, I don't have a jersey, but
what
working
about
on that.
the gecko?
Oh, I
How
had
could you
a
forget that?
gecko named Shaquille Gecko Neal. Oh, and even before that, in 5th grade, I had a snake named Shaq.
Even yeah, no, we're not cutting this. I know somebody's in your room.
Trevor came in and looked at me. Back off.
Dude, did he
Kind of
just prank you back?
busy. I think he might be working on something.
Dude, even Post O'Neal, like
Post
combining.
O'Neal. My Xbox name is Post Malone and Shaquille O'Neal. Big Shaq guy. Did you watch Shaq Life?
I did. I watched the first episode, need to watch the second one, but he's just such an interesting guy, and I really liked how he was just like, yeah, this kid couldn't afford shoes in size 19. I got a dealer, and he's just like, whatever he wants, I don't care. And he's just like, oh, that's it. When the price comes, he's like, oh, that's it. That's nothing, and just pays for it. What a guy.
Dude is worth $400 million. 400 million.
Dr. Shaq.
To put it in perspective, Charles Barkley is worth $40 million. He has 10 times the amount of money as Charles.
Oh, I love Charles though.
Just
Shaq
he's a
Fu.
sellout that promotes every single thing that comes his way.
Who, Shaq?
Yeah,
No, he has to believe in
General
it, like he would
Insurance,
say.
Papa
Okay.
John's, Icy Hot. Uh, did you know he's the CFO of a cruise line?
Carnival. right?
Yep. The chief fun officer. That's freaking good.
I love Shaq so much. Speaking of shows, I was gonna get into 90 Day Fiance today because I got some requests to talk about that, but for
Mm-hmm.
time's sake, I don't think I will because we're already coming up close to it, I think. Um,
Yeah.
but next week I'll talk about 90 Day Fiance because I got a
Uh-huh.
meh, helpful hint.
Uh,
Hey, you should watch it. And let me tell you, I thought Love Was Blind was crazy, but this literally takes the cake. And I could talk.
oh, really?
No, yeah, this is
I'm excited.
yeah. I'm gonna get some notes, but this is literally the craziest show like I've seen in a while.
Okay, well, I'm excited for the next podcast to talk about that.
Yeah, next
Also,
week.
things that we're going to talk about the next podcast, Quibi, because both of us did a full review of it.
Yeah.
we,
A
we,
full
we both
podcast of
downloaded it.
Quibi. Yeah, I definitely subscribed for 12 months.
Yep.
You want to actually tell them or
No, we're gonna do it next week. We'll get around to it,
okay,
downloading it
here's
because
my
we're so
review. It's
excited about it.
trash.
Okay, you don't know
Why? I
that
don't
because
want
you
to.
haven't watched anything.
I don't need to. I already got Hulu. I already got Netflix. I'm not just gonna pull up my phone and like, yeah, let me pull up Quibi.
Okay. Oh, I do have something to add to that conversation before next week, though. For those that are thinking about downloading it, Aaron asked me why download it over Netflix. Here's why: the episodes in their entirety are only like 10 minutes long, so they're meant to be watched like on the go on your phone.
You know, also has 10-minute YouTube.
What?
You can watch anything on YouTube. This is go watch David
Literally
Dobrik.
anything.
Go watch the Dobrik brothers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Go watch
Mm-hmm.
Cody Ko.
Speaking of YouTube, you want to know what I watched last night?
Holes in the Drywall Part 2, where you can see our beautiful faces.
Nope. I watched 2.5 hours of street fights, and it was awesome.
Did you learn anything like how to defend yourself or anything like that?
I learned. After studying that much film, I think I learned about who you should pick a fight with and who you shouldn't pick a fight with.
You had to watch 2 hours of street fights to learn this.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a street fight in person in high school or anything?
No, fun fact. There's only one fight in my high school, my whole 4 years there, and it was my freshman year. Some guy literally like went to go punch another guy, missed or something, punched a girl, and I think yeah, it did not go well. I don't think the rest of the fight
No,
actually happened,
no.
but that was the only fight.
That reminds me of the campaign when he misses Zach Galifianakis and punches the
Just
baby.
punches the baby. But yeah, that was my high school fight experience. It was very lackluster and nothing like the movies.
That reminds me of a video I watched last night. There was this guy that tried punching this naked Asian fat man. I don't know why he was naked,
Yeah, you had to throw
but
Asian in there too.
he was Asian. Yeah, he tried punching him and missed, and the guy backed up, and his friend that was only wearing a towel came up and like tried separating him. The guy swings at the naked dude again, misses, and just boom, sleeps this dude in the towel. I think he might have died from this one punch. And then the naked man starts waving his hands and running at this dude with his dong out, and so he takes off running away from him. Okay, so I'll tell you about the only fight that ever happened at my high school, because like same with you, only one real fight happened because we went to freaking lame schools. I guess.
Lame schools.
I know people that they said fights happened every single day at their school.
Yeah,
every single day. One of my roommates, he said every day, and we both had one in 4 years. So what happened with mine was a sophomore went out to open lunch, which only juniors and seniors were supposed to be able to leave the school for lunch. And
bad move.
A senior, actually no, he was a junior, tattled on this guy. Allegedly, I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but he got detention for it, and so this kid was so worked up. He's like, all right, I'm gonna fight you. And he was tall, 6 foot, lanky. The kid that tattled on him probably weighed 50 pounds less than him, but he was a wrestler.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
You never want to fight those guys.
Yeah, no. So they set up this fight in the park, and like only the really popular kids were invited.
So we
And
weren't.
no, my sophomore year, I just hung out in my friend's basement the whole year. So wasn't invited. I saw the video though, and the lanky kid came out swinging and trying to punch him, and landed a couple punches. But then the wrestler got to his body, which it's like, okay, you got to be smarter than that. You got to know that you got to keep this guy at an arm's length.
Yeah, I've seen a couple UFC fights.
So he gets him to the ground and kind of chokes him out. And like they're swinging and kind of flailing and stuff at each other. But that was pretty much it. So it wasn't all that exciting. It was kind of overrated, you could say.
Overrated.
Which brings us to everyone's favorite topic. Overrated
Today
or underrated?
I learned,
I bring up a topic and Aaron says if it's overrated or underrated. So school fights, overrated, underrated.
Personally, never seeing a lot, I would say they're underrated. But if you go somewhere where they fight every day, I would have to say overrated. So me being at Mays South, definitely underrated.
I would have to agree with everything you just said. Next up, All Star by Smash Mouth.
Other than being like one of the greatest meme songs ever, definitely not overrated. I wouldn't say it's underrated. It's had its time, so it's just rated just right.
Last time I tried sitting on the fence like that, you made me pick a side. So
Fine,
overrated or underrated?
Underrated.
No way is All Star by Smash Mouth underrated.
Did somebody once tell you? The world is gonna.
Yeah. Keep going.
Okay. I don't. Yeah. Can you use it
Next
in a sentence?
Country music, overrated, underrated.
Summer, underrated. Any other season, overrated.
That well said. Mm-hmm.
Unless you're at Club Rodeo, always underrated.
Do you have any interesting Club Rodeo stories you want to tell us about?
Currently no.
For the loyal drywallers, Aaron is a Club Rodeo regular, and I have never been.
Used to be. It shut. Now it's Midnight Rodeo, which sounds a lot more dope. But who knows?
You don't have a favorite Club Rodeo story you want to tell everybody about?
No, because they're all so great. I think that's the thing. The only time you have a bad time at rodeo is when you have that mindset.
All right. Well, I kind of agree with you about country music. Actually, but I would twist it a little bit. I would say instead of seasonally it being overrated or underrated, I would move that to mainstream. I think mainstream country music is often overrated because you get into like the pop country music, which I can't stand, Florida Georgia Line.
Oh, I love their songs.
Where like you can find some more genuine.
I loved it when they had who was
Nelly.
Yeah, I love that collab. Like, who would have thought that?
If Nelly's career wasn't dead before he did that, he put the last nail in the coffin and ended it there.
Yeah, well, I'd agree with that.
You know who would never do that? E40. E40 is severely underrated. Foudy.
I love him.
He's the nerdiest rapper with his little glasses and his strange talking voice.
Yeah.
Shout out E40.
The way he ends every like word or every like line, I don't know.
Yup. Nope.
I can't think of any on the spot because I don't want to do him like wrong.
All right. Well, for the sake of not offending E40 because he might want to be a guest on this podcast, we'll move on to the next one. Apple Watch is overrated, underrated.
Let's see. You go first.
Severely, and I cannot emphasize this enough, overrated.
Okay.
And I say that as someone who wears their Apple Watch almost daily. Uh, Aaron and I are both regular Apple Watch users. It's a
Mhm.
great watch, don't get me wrong, but it's overrated. And here's why. Watches in general, for millennials and Gen Zs, were almost a lost art before the Apple Watch. If you asked a room who wears a watch in here, no one would raise their hand. After Apple Watches, they would raise their hand.
Yeah.
And Apple Watches just, they make me mad because you'll be in the middle of a conversation with someone and they'll lift up their wrist and put it in between your faces. And it's like you're literally just reading a text.
That's fair.
It's like if you pull your phone out, but people think it's socially acceptable to do it that way.
I'll agree with you on that. I say for maybe for fitness, they're kind of underrated. They're really nice to have. But yeah, other than that, just kind of overrated. And I wish I could go back to my $15 Casio watch, but I've already invested too much money in the Apple Watch. So I'm gonna keep using it. But you
Yeah,
raise
I
a good
use,
raise a good point.
other than if when I was in class, it was really nice
Oh,
because
so
I
you could
wouldn't have
cheat?
to get my phone out. So I could just no, so I could just check text on my wrist like that.
Yeah,
That was spectacular. Um,
that's fair.
yeah. You know what I realized we forgot to do? I forgot to give a drywall story.
You know, it's already too late, and you already gave a couple stories.
Now this one will be quick. So I
Okay,
was trying to do a kickflip when I was 10 years old, and I could not land this kickflip,
because you
and
don't
so I
skate,
got
or
mad.
because you weren't wearing
No,
Vans, or
I was wearing DCs.
ooh,
So I got mad, and
ooh.
I went into my garage, and I took my size 9.5 DC, and I just put it right through the wall.
I'm sure that thing weighed like what, 15 pounds, so it's just
Oh
easy
yeah,
to just
those
put.
things were clunky. It was swinging it around, and I put a Porsche poster in front of it, so my dad never found out about it. It was a big hole though.
Hey son, what's this Porsche poster doing at foot level? You know, just
Well,
in the
I
garage.
also well, it was at like chest level because I like
Oh, you
this
straight up,
is Sparta.
he straight
Boom,
up Sparta
drywall.
kicked it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Uh
But
huh.
Judas
So,
Priest.
so that's your hole in the drywall.
Okay, well, thank you for that.
Uh, Time for everyone's next favorite segment. Today I learned.
And I'm not gonna be doing this week because I couldn't find one, and I'm a little scared of what Reed found and what I'm going to
Yep.
be learning today.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
where'd you
this is
learn
good.
this?
The internet. Don't worry about it.
Was
Definitely
it
not Reddit.
uh okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know how to spell that, but
Hmm.
nor do I go on it.
So, so my dog, who I love more than anything in this world, her name is Melly, and she does this one thing that I really hate. I don't know if your dog does this. I don't know who out there can relate. If she ever finds anything dead or really smelly, she rolls on it and like not a normal roll. She aggressively drops her shoulder and digs in on it. Uh, Last time I saw her do this, she pulled the
Pull the muscle.
skeleton of a
Oh.
dead catfish out of a pond and just started rolling on it. And I could not figure out why she did it. So I Googled it. You want to know why they do it?
Why? Hit me with it.
Turns out my dog is a kid genius. She's camouflaging her scent with dead things so she can go hunt later. Fascinating. So if your dog rolls on dead things, that
Now you know.
could be why. Yeah,
The
today I
more you
learned.
know. Today, yeah, today we learned.
I wouldn't advise a person doing it though. I don't think it would
No,
help you
yeah,
get away from
I
the
don't know
cops.
why you'd be. Yeah. All right. Hey, what's your song of the week this week? You know, was this third week
Um,
in quarantine, fourth week, fifth week, something like that?
yeah, I've been listening to a lot of music. How about you?
I haven't been.
Really? Well,
Uh,
then I'll let you go first. What's your song of the week?
okay. Well, I just want to give "Run" by Joji a shout out. It's one of his newest songs. It just has a really good feel to it, and it's
Mhm.
really cool to see him develop as a um was an artist, because Joji used to be Filthy Frank on YouTube. Some of those YouTube OGs will know that. Um, and he's been starting to make music. One of actually Reid's roommate has met him before, which is really cool. But this song is uh just
Oh,
really,
Joji.
yeah.
Wait, was he in
He was in 88 Rising.
yeah, he's on 88 Rising now, which has Rich Brian. But
Yes.
what was his YouTube account?
Filthy Frank.
Was it like How Gangsters Cry or something? Oh,
Yeah, it has a bunch of just, I don't know, but it has a bunch of dumb stuff on it. But just
what
really
was the
good song.
name of that duo? Those two guys that Nice Guys Finish Last.
Oh no, it's not that one. That's that. That's someone else. Nice guys. It's nice guys and nice guys finish last. But going back to Run, really great song. It just gets you in your feels, but it's also just a song to relax to. It has a sick guitar solo.
Mm. I was thinking of Ryan Higa.
Yeah,
That did
Higa.
Nice Guys Finish Last. He's hilarious.
I can't
Okay,
say
my
his
song of
YouTube.
the week.
I can't say his YouTube channel.
Yeah, you can. Let's go ahead and say it.
Your song of the week. Go ahead.
Okay, so I more have a band of the week. Based out of Los Angeles, California, indie rockers, The Growlers, employ an atmospheric blend of reverb-laden surf rock. But more specifically, the song would be Going Gets Tough by The Growlers, but really just listen to all their music because it's freaking cool.
Oh, okay. Well, hey,
Mm-hmm.
thanks for tuning in for this Holes in Your Drywall.
In your driveway.
This is episode 3. Make sure to share with your friends. That's how we get more listeners. We've almost hit 100 streams on both of our together, which is really cool and just a milestone for us.
Did you mean to say 100,000 streams?
100,000. That's probably like one
I
hundo.
think that's where
Hundo
we're at.
thousand. But yeah, make sure to follow us on Spotify, follow us on Apple Podcasts. And if you want the video
Mm-hmm.
version, which I suggest, of me and Reid looking like snacks, it's on YouTube.
And if you watch that, you can see my fidget spinner skills that are going on right now.
That's true. But hey, thanks for stopping by. See you next week for 90 Day Fiance talk.
Yeah.
And we out.
Cut.